Nothing in this recording is intended as investment advice, and the people in this recording may hold positions in the companies they talk about. Do not make any investment based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Hello and welcome to Zach's Traders Cafe. Today I'm joined by Chris Chadwick, who is CEO at MetalNRG. How are you today, Chris?
All very good, thanks. Zach, how are you?
Well, it looked very good in terms of the deal announced last week, producing copper mine in Morocco. Maybe you can explain the details to us.
Yeah, no, perfect. So as we announced when when I joined the company back in September of last year, we were looking for a value accretive project to bring into the company. We started looking at sort of various copper and gold assets sort of internationally, but certainly with a focus on producing and cash flow generative assets. And we were fortunate enough to be part of a process with the CMO mine that Managem were looking to sell. As part of the process, this is the first copper mine in Morocco that Managem are selling in over 95 years of operating in the country. So for them it was this is a big deal, and it was also very important for them to sell to a management team that they could trust in terms of taking this asset forward. So we started the process back in January. We concluded the initial terms in February, at the end of February of this year. Hence why there's a lockbox at that date, and really just been working since then, completing any final due diligence work and completing the documentation around the deal, so that when we're in a position to announce it, which we did last week Thursday, the deal itself has been significantly de-risked in terms of the transaction documents, etc., etc. So we're very, very pleased about this. This will be the first of a number of transactions, but we believe this is a sort of just a very strong project to bring to market to begin with.
Right. I mean, your share price is up 10x so far this year, which I don't think many companies can boast. But it did look like a sort of giant killing deal, $30 million deal. How will shareholders in MetalNRG fare? Because there's always the dreaded word dilution. How can you explain that?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we're very conscious of. I mean, it's something that we put out into the market, right from the very beginning, that the current shareholders, will be protected in terms of, how this deal is structured. This is the start of a long, and will be successful journey for all of us, the existing shareholders as well as new shareholders coming into the book. So it's very important for us that that this deal has been structured in a way that not only with the actual RTO processes itself, but also in the convertible loan note instrument that we're using to fund the majority of the acquisition. Again, that's been structured in a way very consciously to make sure that we all align with current and new shareholders, and that it's structured in a way that it's not it won't create any significant share overhang going forward.
And presumably the fact that it's a producing asset means that that will also mitigate the dilution, because you'll be generating cash from the get-go.
Yes, and strategically, it was important for us to identify, copper was a priority for us, a producing asset which was cash flow generative, and then thirdly, in the right jurisdiction. And Morocco is a fantastic place to do business. If you look at the various surveys which are done across the mining landscape in Africa, Morocco at the moment is considered the number one jurisdiction in terms of mining deals and mining operations. So again, we were just sort of very fortunate that we managed to put ourselves in a position to acquire this asset.
And I suppose we know from the market, all the explorers and developers, they get bogged down in permits and feasibility studies and everything else, and you've leapfrogged those hurdles.
Yes, and I think in terms of the ongoing strategy, we'll be looking at other similar size assets, also in production across sort of similar jurisdictions. there's opportunities within Morocco itself, but there's other opportunities within Africa and other emerging markets that that we currently sort of seriously considering. So again this will be the first step in building a successful mid-tier copper producing company.
Well, we look forward to that. In the meantime, Christopher Chadwick, CEO at MetalNRG, thank you very much indeed.
It's an absolute pleasure, Zach. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for listening. Remember to visit our website for more news and other podcasts at www.share-talk.com.